You say that she stole your identity.
Yes.
And opened up, what, 10 credit cards?
10, maybe more.
10, maybe more
Yes.
credit cards in your name?
Yes, along with a electricity bill as well.
A utility bill and 10 credit cards?
Yes.
You said that you wanted the focus to be on the relationship. Well, then let's talk about the relationship.
Okay.
Did you hijack your daughter's identity?
No, I did not. The
Okay,
electric...
so you didn't open 10 credit cards in her name.
I'm in the last trimester of my pregnancy, and my mom is pursuing custody of my unborn baby. My mom hates my fiance, Jaden, because she thinks he's both mentally and physically abusive. She thinks he's lazy, he's gonna be an unfit parent.
I didn't want Kirsten to tell her mother about the baby because I knew she would come in and manipulate the situation and take the baby. You have to kick her out. It's the only way to keep our baby.
My mom thinks that Jaden is a deadbeat and he's never going to be financially stable. She threatens me with taking my baby to keep me away from Jaden.
She already hired a lawyer to make a deal with Kirsten to exile me out of my baby's life. I want her gone.
My mom wants to cut Jaden's parental rights off completely. She doesn't want him to have anything to do with our child.
You need to learn how to put your foot down.
My mom told me that if I was to sit down and sign over the rights of my child, that I would have more of a say in the matter. If not, she's going to withhold my child from me.
Kirsten and I told Karen that we were gonna fight her to the very end for our daughter. Karen told Kirsten that she's gonna lose and the baby will be hers.
Katie is an irresponsible mother. Katie has been seeing Doug for years. Doug is a worthless, low-life drug addict.
Who pays for everything for him?
Katie.
Who drives his butt around?
Katie.
He's a bum.
He doesn't have a job. Doug is homeless. He's sleeping in my sister's car.
I wake up here in the back seat and I normally just climb up to the front.
At one point, Katie and Doug were living in a tent. He got kicked out.
I'm not there because I didn't feel like that was safe for me. If I could stay in Katie's van, that's better.
Katie owns a van and Doug is living in it, and when Katie is home, the van is parked in the driveway.
Mosquitoes are a bad deal. That's about it.
It's very embarrassing coming home seeing him in the van. When Katie's with Doug in the tent, they smoke weed. Doug has told Katie he loves weed more than her.
I use marijuana in my own medical way.
Katie has 2 kids.
And all kinds of colors in this
Look at this one. The oldest is a girl and she's 6. The other one is a boy and he just turned 1. Doug is the father of the 1-year-old.
Hi, Daddy, I love you.
Katie has told us they smoke weed around the smallest child.
Hey, baby.
She would take him out of his crib and drive to wherever Doug was sleeping in the tent, and they would stay there all night long. Why would you take a child to a tent? Right now, my mother and I are taking care of both of the children.
She's 30 years old. She's made her mistakes and now she has to pay for them.
She has chosen Doug over the kids. It does piss me off. It's not fair. Katie gets to go out and do whatever she wants to do. My mother and I are sitting at home with her children. I do feel like I've raised her children. Both of the children gravitate to me and my mother. We are the moms. Me and my sister fight often. Our fights are normally yelling and screaming. Our fights were about the kids, money, and Doug. I wish Doug would fall off the face of the earth, to be honest. I want Katie to focus on being a mom, and I want us to be a normal family again.
No, I did not. She was aware of the one to start her credit when she was at school. I did the electric bill so she could have a place of residency. You knew that.
Well, now, look, there aren't versions of the truth. Did she or did she not open up credit cards in your name?
Yes, she did.
And they weren't for you. She had the credit card.
Yes, she had the credit cards the whole time.
We actually have some videotape about that, so let's take a look at that.
This is my journal. Almost all of these pages are filled with the identity theft my mom put me through. I spent my whole summer going through calling people and making sure all of this was taken care of. I've made police reports. As you can see, fraud right there. She's been putting credit cards in my name since the day I turned 18. I think my mom opened up at least 10 credit cards. It was close to $3,000 or $4,000. This document right here, this is one of the credit cards. She tried to pay the electric bill on this one. I wanted to make sure, like 100% that it was her. She went to a local gas station that I know is in her area, a grocery store, and one of her favorite restaurants. I know for a fact this is her. It's been this whole process for almost 2 years now. It's consumed my life. I have to do it to get my name back and recover from what my mom has done.
Well, she seems to have, and she brought along the journal where all of this is documented, the very page where she says fraud here and the amount due and the different credit cards and her conversations with Medicare, all of these things that are documented with dates and times and receipt numbers and all. She seems to have this very well documented that says you did open multiple credit cards in her name.
I did not. I opened 2, and she was aware of those. To start credit.
And did you put the utilities in her name?
Yes, I did. Because I was told, because she was going away for school, that she needed proof of residency because she was 18 to continue to get insurance.
Well, this is the energy bill in Taylor's name. The account status says of 10/12/2017, the amount due $999.65. So it was opened in your name. Did it get paid?
They're still in the process of trying to pay it and make sure everything's together. It was originally $1,103, I believe.
Well, that's months and months old, so that's a black mark on your credit, right?
Yes,
Who was supposed to pay that bill?
she was.
I was.
But
Absolutely.
you didn't pay it?
No, because she had the amount changed and, well, to the address where she is currently living. And she is still under my insurance, under the Medicaid, under our county, which that is technically fraud.
I'm actually not. I went and changed it last year.
Well, Karen says her reason for wanting custody of her grandchild is rational. She believes a young couple will just simply be unfit parents. She says there is absolutely no way she will allow them to condemn this baby to a lifetime of struggling.
My daughter Kirsten is a very smart girl who started making bad decisions, and the worst one she ever made was being with Jaden. Jaden is abusive, controlling, manipulative, and a liar. He's just a horrible human being. I cannot stand him. I want him out of my life. He needs to stay the hell away from my daughter, but I sure as hell don't want him anywhere near my grandkid. Jaden has manipulated my daughter to go back to him and stay in this disgusting, filthy motel. I know there's registered sex offenders and drug users. Together, Jaden and Kirsten have created a horrible environment for each other and an even worse environment for the baby. Kirsten puts herself in harm's way every single day by being with Jaden, and if she's not going to protect herself or that baby, I have to. My plan is for her to come over and bond with the baby, feed the baby, bathe the baby. Jaden, however, would not be allowed to come to my home or be able to see this baby without supervised visitations. He's already made threats to run off to the reservation. There is nothing in the world that Jaden could ever do to ever get on my good side, ever.
Okay, so you're going to have to fill us all in here because looking at the two of you, you're the one that's pregnant.
Yes.
So this is your baby.
Yes.
So under what theory would you think you have any right to someone else's baby?
Somebody has to stand up for this baby and to be a voice for her.
But you're talking about this to your daughter as though it's up to you. I've decided I'm going to take your baby because I don't think you're going to raise it right.
Right.
Well, who gives you that right?
When there's abuse and when there's drugs,
The baby hasn't been born yet.
she's being abused. She's being physically abused. That's not okay. And when she begs me for help, when she also tells other people, including her own counselor, that she's scared to death of Jaden.
Are you being abused?
No.
Have you been abused?
No.
Have you told your mother you're being abused?
I have in the past exaggerated stories and lied out of anger. Then whenever I went to go tell her the truth that he wasn't doing those things, she didn't believe me.
So you've lied.
Yes,
Well, how do I know whether you were lying then or you're lying now?
because he hasn't.
You've gone to your mother and said, I've been beaten and abused,
Yes,
but in fact you weren't.
yes,
Okay. Have you told other people you were beaten and abused?
yes,
Did you tell a counselor you were beaten and abused?
yes,
And now, because you want to keep this baby and you want to be with Jaden, you're saying, no, I made all that up at the time.
yes.
Is that believable?
No, and I can see why it's not.
Well, Katie's mom, Tara, says if her daughter doesn't get her act together, she's going to call Child Protective Services and have her children taken away.
I do have a lot of hope for Katie. Katie has dreams of being a nurse. She became a juvenile diabetic when she was 12. She wants to be a diabetes educator. I think she's so capable of doing anything she wants. Katie is smart, she's compassionate, but she is dating Doug, and he is a loser. He has dragged her down into the mud. I call Doug a tick. If people say, what's Katie's boyfriend's name? It's Tick, because he is sucking the energy out of Katie. He can't hold a job, he's homeless, and he relies on her for everything. And he's living in her car. I want to be grandma, but right now I am mom to the kids. I don't want to be. I don't want to get up every morning and get her ready for school. It is exhausting. I'm tired. I don't want to be 82 years old on senior night walking in my walker. And that's what it'll be. I have learned that Katie was stealing money from her own children. I came home from the store one day and I always put all of my change in the 2 piggy banks. But when I picked it up, there wasn't anything in it. Katie had told me that she had used the money for gas. I think she used it to support Doug. I need for Katie to step up and realize Doug is a loser and be the mom that she can be. I told Katie if she didn't get help, we were going to get custody of the kids.
So she's living with Doug. You say he is a bum, a loser, a lowlife, and worthless.
Pretty much, yeah. That's in a nutshell.
And she's working,
Yep, 2 jobs.
and he's not.
Right, she's supporting him.
If this is the guy she picked, who the hell did she turn down? He's living in her car?
Yeah.
In your driveway?
Yeah. She
What, do you just
supports him.
walk by him when you leave the house? He's out there in the car? He's
Yeah.
in the car?
Yeah. It's embarrassing.
They pull the car far enough forward that we don't have to see him when we come out the door.
Yeah. And he'll lay down in the back to hide when we don't know that he's there.
Well, she even said to us that when she goes to work, he rides to work with her and sits in the car in the parking lot while she's working.
Her 2 jobs. He'll lay in the car all day when she's having her 2 jobs. Yeah.
She leaves at 10 in the morning, has a break in between the jobs, and then comes home around 11 or 12.
So he's in the car all day.
Yeah.
How do you sell that? How do you sell that to somebody? Okay, you go work 2 jobs, I'll wait in the car. Seriously, how does he sell that to her?
She's gotten him several jobs, but he can't keep them.